Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can. I had it turned off. Were you there for a minute before
I was there for like 10 seconds.
I love it. Your makeup looks on point.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's kind of dark in here. I don't know what my lighting is doing. It's another dark and stormy night, apparently.
You look very bright to me. Like, I think I look yellow. I'm looking at you and I'm looking at me and I look yellow. Yeah, I was playing with makeup too. I wish you, thank you.
I love your hair. It's getting so long.
I just got it trimmed. Thanks.
It's beautiful.
I wish you lived here though, so we could like play makeup first.
Yes.
I've been practicing lashes. Like I've had friends come by and just done lashes, and I'm getting better on myself because Bella's first competition of the season is tomorrow, and we're doing fake lashes. So
we're twirling.
Yeah, twirling. Very excited.
You're good at that.
She is.
Okay, I don't know if I'm loving this lighting.
I don't know.
But anyway, it's going to be slumber party, Emily, today.
Hi. I love it. Yeah, no, it does kind of like a slumber party. And then there's something with like the lights. It's been on other videos too, so it's totally fun, but it's fun like when you talk or something where it like ripples.
Oh yeah. I think that's my phone.
I don't know what it is, but
I think I might grab like a different light really fast. Can we start over?
No, yeah, you're fine. It's already recording because it's just doing it through Zoom, so I'll just cut ship. So yeah, okay. Go get a light.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll just be sitting here on my thing because that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
Awesome. I was TikToking. Okay.
Bye.
It was like Emily got a beanbag today.
Yep, I did.
And a balloon.
They're attached to my daughter's lamp.
Oh. I love it.
1 second. Okay, it's gonna take me a minute.
That's all right. I'm gonna get this thing out of my face.
You may or may not get a boob shot here, so I'm sorry.
Woo! I'll pay extra close attention to make sure.
Come out of there. There we go.
Yeah, we're getting all armpit today.
Yes. Do I shave for a reason?
Oh yeah.
No damage.
Damage.
That's my mom curse word of the week.
Yeah. This is great. This is perfect. So today on the Little White Picket Fence, we're gonna
talk about moms and cursing. We've seen an uptick in moms cursing.
And the damage it's having on the youths.
It's on the youths.
The youths.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna see if this is any better. Maybe.
It is. I love your top.
Thank you.
I'm like in athletic clothes.
Thank you. Cody picked this one out.
I like it. Yeah, I'm like in athletic clothes because we're gonna be leaving to go stay at a hotel tonight for tomorrow. So I'm like ready to leave after this actually.
Really?
Yes. I'm excited.
Yeah. You guys. Go get some. Just kidding.
What? Well, we're gonna have the kids with us, so
well, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Elena will make sure none of that is possible.
It's weird how they do that.
You want to know what she did last night?
What did she do last night?
Well, she wouldn't go to sleep. She like took a random late nap, which I didn't let her have much of it, but obviously she needed it. So I just like let her sleep for a bit. But then, she paid me back by staying up all freaking night. And it was around midnight that I was like, okay, I need to like, raise my voice a little and be like, dude, you better stay in this freaking bed. you're going to bed. Then sorry, I'm like, we're gonna blame this on the weed. Where was I going with my story? Okay, yeah.
Lena.
So put her to bed midnight, and we have these little latches that we can put on the door, but it lets them open a certain degree. It's for the cat, really, so that the cat can get in and out of rooms, but I can keep it closed so that Dipper, our pug, doesn't get in there, because Dipper doesn't have the same like level of clearance that Kitty Cat does. She gets to go do more things. So anyways, I closed that so that Elena couldn't come out of the room, because I'm like, I can't have her all over the house, like she's gonna hurt herself. So at least if she's stuck in that room, the door is still open. We have the baby monitor. I fell asleep. I thought she did too, but instead,
alas, you were wrong.
alas, she got the like this butt cream called, it's like one that's for cow udders. Your boobs are fine. They're not coming out.
I'm seeing the sticky tape. Give me 1 second.
Okay. So I'm like, what's funny is I can't talk because I'm like, what's going on? What's going on, Em? What's wrong with your boobs?
Okay. So Elena got into the udder ointment.
Yes, I can't think of what it's called right now because your boobs apparently, but it's a green tin. No, they look fine. It's just you going, am I?
Well, I'm not sitting in this beanbag chair, and it's a little like I didn't give myself the 2-minute leeway to figure out how I'm sitting.
You're good. You're good. Okay. What the hell is this stuff called? Bag Balm. It's called Bag Balm. And it's like Vaseline, only like more intense somehow. Or at least that's how it felt when I was cleaning it off of the bed frame today, because she polished it with it.
She gets that from your dad.
I know. Yeah, that's exactly. I was telling Bella this morning about the story of when my dad had polio and rheumatic fever twice, I believe. And one of the times he was in the hospital, he was in the room that he was in. I think there were multiple children in it, but the kid next to him, his legs were on weights and stuff like that. And there was this cream that the nurses would use on his. So it was obviously like a pain cream. And I think my dad was only like 5, but he couldn't sleep. And he got up in the middle of the night and he just polished the little end table using all that stuff. And they were not happy with him. And I was not happy with Elena, but at least it wasn't some kid's like medical cream. Yeah. But anyways, she's like the cutest little pain in the ass.
I love her. I love her. She's adorable.
Oh my God, she's so cute. It's a good thing she's so cute though. It's like
no, that is why God makes them so cute, is so they can like get out of all of the trouble, because
yes,
that's exactly right.
Because she's a bit much. But like the best much, you know, like it's so freaking funny. Anyway, so how's your week been?
Good. Kind of busy. We were not here last week because we went to this really cool lodge in the mountains.
Oh yes, without any
zero
phone service.
Yep. My sister-in-law and her husband are opening it, and it's pretty freaking awesome.
What do you mean opening it? Like opening a lodge?
So the people who owned it before, it was kind of their dream place. And there were 3 of them, and 2 of them died of COVID.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
the 3rd one, it was not a fun story that way. But anyway, the 3rd one didn't want to keep it going without the other 2.
Yeah. So. All right. So, but you said they're opening one, like it's an actual like lodge that people go and stay at?
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
South Border Lodge in Lowman, Idaho. Go check it out in like a month or 2.
When it is the thing.
Yes.
You got to go pre-opening. You're kind of a big deal. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. We get these invitations, you know, to these premieres.
Yeah. Awesome. Did the kids go or just you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like a kid-friendly place. Awesome. Maybe we can all go there one day.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
All right.
There's like rivers and fun stuff and
and you know,
it's really fun.
Things. Rivers.
My headset just turned off on its own for some reason.
Okay. Is it like one that has better? I guess you can't hear me, huh?
Oh, here we go. Hang on. All right. There we go.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, it did a little weird bloopy thing, but I heard you.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
Sorry. Like I said, technology hates me. And it will for all time.
Okay, so welcome back to our little white picket fence.
Yes.
We were gonna have Tyra on today, but she had a little thing. So last minute
Scheduling
topic.
conflict.
Yeah, last minute topic is just school. And what's got me thinking about schooling and specifically like homework and stuff like that is how Haley saw some TikTok that said that homework originated as like a punishment. And I could totally see how that, seems true, because it's kind of like,
Yeah,
like you were at school to learn, and then when you send it home with them, it's like you did something wrong, or I don't know. But I see the
yeah,
flip,
no,
I see the flip side of it though too, where it's like, you do need help from your home to like learn things, your family and stuff like that, your parents. It's important for them to be involved in it, I think. You want
yeah.
them you want your kids to listen to you and have confidence in you. So if that starts at an age that you're, helping them
Yeah.
to like learn those things, and then I think they would have more trust in the other things you're trying to teach them anyways. But I kind of looked it up though, because I was like, oh God, like that makes so much sense. Like that's totally
Mhm.
true. And then I looked it up and I found a lot of things kind of the other direction that like, no, that's not why it was invented. That's been like kind of hyped. But despite that, I still kind of get what she was saying. And I think that there's a lot about the current school system and the way we teach and the emphasis on testing that has gotten us away from like it being an education and more of a
Check the boxes.
indoctrination. And
Yeah.
like this is the way you spend your time. You go, you work, you give your time. You know what I mean? You work to pass this test. You meet your quota. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's training you to be a worker, but it doesn't like allow for as much like free thinking. And I found this TikTok that, and I won't show it to you because I don't know if I could find it quickly, but it's basically like
Okay.
it was showing all the different like you see an airplane from like a couple whenever they first started to now, and like the big difference, and the same with cars, and the same with like office buildings, and then it shows a school, and then it shows a school. And we are still, I know there's been changes, but we are still essentially doing the exact same thing. Like we've never thought, is there a better way? Because we need to have it so like uniform, and it like serves its purpose, and everybody needs to learn. Learning is important, I think. You're not going to have doctors and scientists from not learning and learning how to learn, but yeah. So what are your thoughts on all things school, work, and such?
I go back and forth on school a lot. Like, first of all, I have so much love and respect for my kids' teachers.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, I can't imagine even being trained. I can't imagine having 20 young kids all by myself and trying to have to teach all of them at the same time for 9 months. I mean, in my head, it doesn't work.
No, the amount of patience that has to take. You know what I mean? Like I think I can be a patient person, but I think that in that setting, I would lose it pretty quick.
I would lose my mind. And when you lose your mind, there's nowhere to go. There's no one that can take over. There's no, you know what I mean? Because everybody's going to have those moments. Like, even I'm like, Mom's going to go sit in the closet for a minute and nobody bug me, because I just need 10 minutes. Please don't ask me another question. Right. And
I totally feel that one. Yeah.
You would get arrested. Like, you neglected the children.
Yes, seriously. And we just have our like, one at a time essentially, or like different ages, but like never as many as they do. And yeah, I feel that, where there's times where I saw a skit or something and the mom was like, my name's Shasta Cola or something like that. And so I stole that. So sometimes with Elena, she's like, Mommy, and I'm like, she's not here, baby. I'm Shasta Cola. because she's the type to repeat things. So I love to say ridiculous things to get her to Shasta Cola.
No, that's not my mom. That's Shasta Cola.
Yeah, I know. One day she's gonna say that to someone. But sometimes I can't hear it. I just can't hear it anymore. Like my head's literally going to like spin off of my neck. It's just gonna like
well, and even daycares, won't even open unless you have a certain amount of people per kids, and
Yeah.
at school they're like, no, let's just put some more in there. It'll be okay. You can teach all of these kids to read at the same time and make sure that none of them slips through the cracks, and that,
Yeah.
the smart kids get pushed and the slow kids get helped. And
Yeah.
I don't know how one would really do that.
Yeah. And then it brings up the issue of like just the difference in what people have access to as far as education is concerned, because my kids go to a charter school, and so they do have limits on teachers, and they all have like teachers assistant, you know what I mean? Like, so like they're in a situation where they do get that extra help and there's all these extra things, but there are a lot of schools where that's not a thing.
No.
So it's so
resources
much easier.
Are finite.
Yeah, exactly. So like, well, they say, everybody's getting access to education, then you're not getting access to the same education, because if you don't have the same assistance and resources and things like that, it's just not the same.
Yeah, for real. And I have been helping out. My youngest daughter is in the 2nd grade, and I've been helping out in her class twice a week because her teacher is about to have a baby, and she's like, we need a little help.
Yeah.
So it's been fun to see like the different levels of kids and how each one responds, and universally all of them respond well to, dude, you're doing a good job, keep up the good work,
Yeah.
you're a good kid. And you can just see their faces light up. And I don't know, that didn't have anything to do with anything.
No,
That's just
all
where
right.
my brain went.
See, I could totally be a kid's hype man. I could do that. I could
do that.
I'm not a teacher, but I'll just go around to every different class and just look for things that are awesome about all the kids and just be like,
right.
That's
I think that is a necessary job. I think that is something that we should put in the budget.
Okay.
We need a hype man.
Hype man? School hype man? Okay.
We've got a school therapy dog at our school. And
who doesn't
the kids are always super excited when they get to play with the dog.
Yeah, and a lot of times you don't get to touch therapy dogs. So it's a therapy dog that you can actually pet. We have
a little cuddly one.
Is it?
Yeah.
We'll have like the goodest of doggos come into the restaurant, but they're like therapy dogs. So they sit on the table, they don't move, and it's just like, you're like,
I just want to pet it.
I know. I'm like waving, like, hi. These are always so cute. It's so well behaved.
I'm always like overly like, I know it's a service dog, I'm not gonna pet it, I just love it.
Man, what's funny, because we had the whole discussion about like us with our love for animals. Our levels of love for animals. I absolutely want to pet every dog I see. I want to pet every cat. I just don't want to bring them home with me. That's the only way that I like.
Yep.
I love animals. I want all good for them, but it's so funny because like my family, it's like it's gotta be weird when I'm like, oh my God, it's so cute, it's so cute, it's cute. And they're like, you want a dog? And I'm like, no. Like we already have one. Why would I want a dog? I already have one. If you did, I keep,
When we went to the mountain lodge this weekend, we didn't have any animals to like
take care of,
kennel or babysit or so that was nice. Except for the cat that's still hanging around the house, but he's on his own.
Oh, is he in the house or no?
Currently, yes, but like typically on the regular day, no. My husband took the older kids flying this morning, and so I just have the younger two, and I'm like, here's your movie, hold the cat, I'll be back in the house. But they know I'm here.
The cat is currently watching my children.
That's true. It's having me a horrible mom. Am I a horrible mom?
No, you let them have a cat and they have movies to watch. Like they're living the freaking dream right now.
They are indeed.
I bet you they got snacks.
They do. And indeed they do. My son's latest thing is we play tag in the house. And so he'll just like come and hit me. He's like, tag, and then he takes off running.
Yeah.
I have got more exercise in the last 24 hours than I have in a long, long time.
Have you reached the point of like, mommy's done playing now? Mommy's gonna sit down.
Lots of times.
Elena will run me ragged. She will literally, she's like, okay, mommy, hold my hand. And it's so cute. You're like, okay, I'll hold your hand. And then after an hour of like being dragged around the house, you're like, I'm gonna sit down now. Like, she's like, no. I'm like, yes, I'll be sitting down now. I
Like, you want a book?
busy.
Should we read a story? Should we?
Yes,
Anything?
yes. No, I want to run. Sorry.
You just want to make sure mom, like, lives to be 90.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, a body in motion stays in motion.
It's true.
Yeah.
It does, unless the body in motion gets very tired and finds the couch.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a stop sometimes.
Okay, back to school.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What is your stance on homework? Do you think that kids should be bringing home homework?
I'm okay with a little bit of homework. I like seeing what my kids are doing in school, and I like seeing that they can do it. And sometimes I'll have little tips and tricks that I can help them with.
Yeah.
But I have a daughter. My oldest right now is about to graduate, and I know homework gets a little heftier as they get older. But she's doing homework all the dang time, and she's taken some college classes, and she'll graduate with, like, I have no idea, many college credits.
Yeah.
And anyway, but she's paying the price to get it. She's doing homework all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, and obviously she wants that, or she wouldn't be doing it, right? Because I find, like,
She wanted it at one time. Right now she's questioning.
Yeah.
If
Well,
she
but there
really
has to
wanted it.
be like a level of like wanting to, because when you don't want to do something, you just don't. Because I have one kid who just doesn't, she's so freaking smart. She doesn't want to do it. So homework for her literally is like, it is my homework. It is my homework. It is the devil. It brings the entire family down. We're getting there with like systems, like, okay, don't, you come home and you do this before anything else, but let's like get a snack. We're here to help. Kind of just like, but it's when she's at school, she gets good grades. She's on the AB honor roll. We come home and it's like, she literally can't do anything. I'm like, how is this possible? Like, how?
Because when you're home, you want to be home.
Yeah. And then my other daughter, Bella, is like, she has certain things that she just wants to do. So she's like, she asked to be tested for gifted, but when she was tested, yeah. So like, because she had moved school, so she kind of missed the point or whatever of that. And she was like, I don't know, she was like, why am I not in that class? And then now she's in 7th grade and she's already taking a high school math class. So she likes those things. Yeah. So but sometimes I'm like, okay, don't take on too much, because, you still have to live a life, but she obviously wants that, you know what I mean? So I feel like there is no one way that we should be doing it is the problem, because people are so different, and like Haley's aptitudes are different also, but like both of them, if you give them like an IQ test, like they both are very smart, like on similar levels, even like Haley really understands things, but then it destroys her day, you know what I mean? And that's absolutely, I think, and it messes with her mental health, I'd even say. And that's because she was diagnosed with like anxiety a few years ago already. Her doctor was like, hey, like, because she had some like little like tics and things like that and she still has some, but we just kind of let her do them to like, work it out or whatever. And we don't medicate, and we have a weighted blanket. But it's like, if she can still get all the grades and do all these things, like, why is doing this to her necessary? But then also, why should some other kid who, just because they are willing to do it because they want the good grades, push themselves and take all of their time doing this and not living, when they can learn and retain in that same amount of time with, you know what I mean? Like the extra work is just training them to be capable of and okay with something still in your time.
Yeah.
And time is finite. Like, time is all we really have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what we do with that time. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and home life is different for everybody too.
Yeah.
And I think
very much
there are many times throughout the year where it's just like, there's no way homework's getting done tonight. It's just not happening. We're doing other things. We're going different places. Somebody, there was a death in the family, or there's just things that happen. I love the way my daughter's 2nd grade teacher does it. Okay. She sends home the weekly homework with this is what we expect to get it done during the week for homework.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the kids turn it in, they get a candy or not a candy or some kind of treat, but it doesn't affect their grade positively or negatively.
It's like a little extra thing, and then they get an extra bonus for doing it.
Yeah.
I like
so if you
that.
can get it, great. And if not, it's not going to show up on your
it's not going to affect your grades
report
or whatever.
card. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I don't I think that when the girls have homework or things like that and we've missed it, they it just ends up in their makeup work.
Yeah.
So that it's just, we have one of those nights where it's like, okay, you have a couple of days of things to do. I need you to get this done, and we'll try to like break it up. I'll be like, okay, in 15 minutes you take a break, whatever. But either way, it's like now my entire night is
homework.
Is homework, and it's managing this homework because it's hard for her to manage it. And when I leave it to her, she sits in a corner and cries because she's like, I don't know how to start.
It's too much.
It overwhelms her, but she's good at it. So it's like having the people there at school who are interacting, like that really works for her for learning. But then sending her home with me doesn't. And maybe it's just me being lazy and being like, damn, I don't want, like, I've been at work and now I'm at home
It's
working,
not lazy.
and then now, with all the other things that we manage as like managing a household, bills, all that stuff, like it's just the last thing I have time for is then conducting school, because that's what it takes to get homework done sometimes,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not like 100% against homework. I think that for like
there's a place for it.
Yeah, I think for like when they're very young, because they need a lot of repetition with learning, your letters, your numbers, learning to read and things like that. Like there's so much that needs just repetition that I think, you need that time at home, and we should be engaged with our young kids and teaching them. And, like I said, like instilling that trust that we can teach them and they can trust us to teach them and stuff like that. But then there comes an age where middle school, I guess, would probably be even fourth, fifth grade, I don't know, around there, where it's like, they need a sense of control over themselves. I remember feeling that way. You know what I mean? Because you have a brain of your own and ideas of your own, and you want some of your time to be yours, but you have to go to school, and then you have to do this and that. And especially like with us growing up, having the extra church things and stuff like that on top of school and homework.
Between church and school, it was everything.
It's like these things take over your life, and while they're young, and yes, they have a lot of life to live, why can't they be living right now and realizing that life is to be enjoyed, because they can still learn. Like, I think there's a level of education that everybody should have and is entitled to, and it's great if you go above and beyond. But I don't know, I think there's a time where like the amount of homework has gotten a bit ridiculous, and my kids don't even, like, Bella manages hers on her own, so I'm very lucky with that, and maybe if both my kids were just great with homework, maybe I would be like, no, it's fine, the kids are fine. But I have a kid who it really affects, and I'm like, hey, there's got to be other kids like her. And there's also, I know that there's kids who are like just doing very poorly, like in high school and stuff like that, just because they don't have time for that homework. They're at work and they try to do it during, but and then they also don't have like support at home or someone who can nag them the way that I nag Haley, you know what I mean? So it's like, it just.
Well, and when my daughter was playing volleyball, there wasn't time for anything. I mean, there was a few times when they got home from away games at midnight.
Yeah.
And then they made them come back in for practice at 6 o'clock the next day. And I'm like, how
about no? Yeah.
No. Like, these are not professional athletes, they're kids. Like,
sleep is important, and that is ridiculous. Yeah.
Sorry. My hair is bugging me.
How dare you?
I know. If I don't.
Your hair always looks
every now and then.
Perfectly coiffed. Mine is perfectly dry shampooed.
Awesome. I love your color of hair. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to get it fully back to like just mine, which you really can't tell, but like the ends of mine are kind of black and the top is my natural color. But like,
I think
once you go black, you have to like
takes a while to
like I was saying something else, but when you have the dark in your hair like that without lifting it with like a bleach or something, which I can't do because my hair is too fine and thin. I just have to grow it out. But
well, I love it.
Yeah, thanks.
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I just hit my arm on the wall. So speaking of like hair and things, as far as school goes,
yeah.
Moving on to college, I'm thinking trade schools are more and more the way to go. Like, a lot of people here do the cosmetology schools, there's welding schools, there's construction schools, you know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't leave you with the, you know, $500,000 in debt.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, like just going to school for the sake of going to school, but not having any idea what you want to do, or like picking something like cosmetology or things like that. I mean, I guess it's valuable to learn something, but like, I feel like I did a lot of different things, and I still hold some like student loans, and I don't utilize any of it. And none of it was what I really wanted to do, because I saw a meme the other day. It was like, how we expect a 17-year-old to be able to like pick what they want to do for the rest of their life and invest $100,000 into it, and then be in debt when they didn't want to do that thing 10 years later. And they don't have it, because who the fuck knows what they want to do when they're 17 forever. Maybe some people do, but I was like, that was like 5 lifetimes ago for me. Like I feel like I've lived like these entire different lives in different states, and I'm like, that's, I don't know. So
I wanted to be an athletic trainer. Do you know how well that would fit with my life now? It would not. It would not.
Yeah. But that kind of didn't answer your question at all, or even talk about the same thing as you did. But yeah, as far as like, I think trade schools are obviously great, because I think a lot of people kind of were shying away from that, thinking they needed, you know, you need the bigger, better, or whatever, but then they didn't have any type of like career paths to take with it, or something they wanted to do, and then you don't end up being able to actually do anything with it, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm all for trade schools. I mean, essentially, the dental assisting school I did was a trade school, essentially.
Yeah.
And then, although I don't know if I'd call it dental hygiene that. So I went to the dental school, and it is an actual degree, not a certificate. But
yeah,
I don't know.
You
went to like, what were you going for? Were you actually in like the athletic training program, or were you just doing your like?
I started the prerequisites for the athletic training program at BYU.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I really liked that in high school, going and taping ankles and, you know, checking out injuries and anyway, all that kind of stuff.
You know, when I like, because I took it after you were in it, that I was in it too. And did you guys go see the cadavers to like see the different?
Absolutely, we did. I loved that.
I hated that. I was like, I don't like, no, thank you. Like that was the end of it for me. I don't know why. I just was like,
well, it's kind of gross. I mean, it is gross. I will give you that.
I didn't know.
I think the human body is so freaking cool.
It is so cool. But I think I couldn't detach the, like, I'm like, that's a human.
The person from the
yeah. And I think I could handle it now, because getting rid of, you know, the fear of heaven and hell. So there was none of that. I don't know, the spirit and all that. Now it's just the science of it. So I think I could handle it. But at the time, I was like, nope.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when we went and visited, they gave us this big spiel on, you know, be respectful. We know you're high school students and this is a dead body, but let's rein it in, guys. And it was so hard, because the guy that took us through and was like, he's showing us where all the tendons were and the muscles and stuff. He took the cadaver by the hand and he kept like rubbing its hand. And I was just like, stop. Like, no.
Stop.
I can't.
Why was he doing
too much.
that? What?
I didn't ask him.
That's kind of
like, no, thank you.
And his name was Ted.
Right. It was BYU.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love doing x-rays. And were you with me? Were you the one that was with me when we went to the maybe not. Anyway, the athletic training room at BYU to go visit my old trainer that then worked there?
I think it was. It sounds vaguely familiar.
All of the BYU football players were in there, and for some reason they all started singing that song, oh where can my baby be? Yeah, and it was just like it was out of a movie.
Yeah.
It was a moment. But it was fun.
Remember when I took a BYU football player to a dance? That was awesome. And you took a red shirt.
That was my favorite.
Oh
Well,
my God.
I wasn't gonna go at all because I had a stupid choir concert that night, but you brought me a date.
I did. The weirdest
That was the
freaking date.
greatest.
Yeah.
Okay, we are gonna have to tell that story, and I'm gonna have to bring my yearbook out. I could go get it now, but I'm not going to. So, because that picture is iconic.
Yeah. I think we told it once before about
Yeah, well,
yeah.
it's worth telling again.
Okay. Well,
But
it was because the guy who I had liked was now dating another one of our friends and going to this dance with them. And he was a huge fan of BYU football. And I had another friend who just happened to be like dating one of the BYU football players. So they had like they had an
connection.
Yeah, so they got one of the BYU football players to be my date, and then he brought a friend for Emily. And then I drove my friend and this guy that I had liked, and then didn't have a date at the time. And I was like, we're going to pick my date up. And he was like, oh yeah, who's your date? And so I was like, Carlos Munoz. And he was like,
It was like a star BYU football player.
He was on the team. That's all I know. And John knew who he was because when I was
my dad knew who he was too. He was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. Well, but it was awesome because I was like, we're driving to pick him up, and John's like, who's your date? And I was like, Carlos Munoz. And he's like, oh yeah, and then we'll go see my friend Lavelle Edwards. You know, like
BYU football coach.
And then when we pulled up and it was him, he was just so quiet. It was so fun. It's so awesome.
You had to
and then we had
go
some
change his pants.
Yeah, high school football players from our school that were like going up and talking to him, because I didn't know him. I met him when I picked him up.
Right.
Yeah,
but he was so good about it. He's like married and everything, and he's just
well,
like,
he had a fiance at the time, and he the picture though for our dance picture ended up in the yearbook, and I was sitting on like him right here, and he was just a freaking giant. He was a huge man.
Who came to our high school dance. He was so nice.
So when you watch this, Carlos, because I know you will.
That's right.
That's right. I'm eating some jumbo Fruit Loops that Elena left in here.
Yes. Gotta love the Fruit Loops.
I just love cereal. It's a weird thing to love, but I love it.
I don't like it for like actual breakfast, but it's like the perfect snack.
Yeah, agreed. I never wake up and think I want to eat a bowl of cereal. It's normally like I'm watching TV at night and I'm like, I could go for a trough of cereal. It's never a bowl. I'm like, like bigger.
until you feel that like Fruity Pebble hangover where you're just like, this was not a good idea.
Oh, why does my mouth feel all waxy?
I feel like I need a steak or something to balance it out. Yeah, I'm thinking the beanbag chair was a bad idea here because I can hear it like.
I don't hear it.
Okay, I can.
I mean, I don't think I do. Yeah, no. Sorry, you're gonna hear a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna knock shit over trying to cross my leg.
You knock stuff over? I never do that. Except like all the time.
Yeah, you haven't knocked your phone over yet today.
I did this morning, like in our pre thing. I knocked it over a lot of times. So
okay.
That was my bad. I will never get it right, and that's okay.
What else about school? So
what would you do to change school? If you could make elementary through high school different, what would you do?
That's the problem.
And you had unlimited
I don't have an answer for that because I'm gonna have to just think about it off the cuff here. Do you have anything that you could think of that you would do?
I think our teachers need to be paid more. I mean, that's just a given.
Yeah.
It needs to be enough to where people who are excited about teaching are like, hey, I want to do this. Like this is a good career choice for me. Yeah. Because we need our best and brightest teaching our
exactly
kids.
Just like it, our doctors get paid a lot. It's because they serve a very vital like function to society, and as do teachers.
Yeah.
And they've been basically turned into like childcare workers who are expected to do like way too much.
Mm-hmm.
And they not be paid like what
yeah.
they should be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a joke,
Yeah.
And then the whole world can't rest on one person's shoulders because teachers are human beings. They have outside lives. They need to be able to they need to be able to have a mental breakdown every now and then and not feel like they're letting an entire generation of children down.
What
And
do you mean?
I think
like take breaks? Is that what you're saying? Or
yeah, well, there needs to be an option for them if they're like, besides just like a substitute teacher for a day or two, we need, I don't know what the answer is there, but there needs to be something. It seems like there's an awful lot resting on just one person.
Yeah. And then when they get burnt out and they leave it all together and go to a different job, whereas if there were a way for them to like take a hiatus.
Yeah.
Like,
and if there's a way to like individualize education toward each kid to where they're not just like all stuffed into one 20-person class.
Yeah.
If you said, okay, for this person, I don't know
either. One thing that I'm thinking of now that we're talking about this, I don't know what I would do to change the whole system, obviously, but some things that I would like to see incorporated in school are more like life skills, learning how to like plant, like everybody doing some sort of gardening and learning about how and where our food comes from and trying to grow and be more sustainable locally. Like I think that should be part of education for kids, because that's something that's a truly lifelong skill that, like, say, obviously we have society and we have food and we have all these things, but there's nothing to say that like one day something catastrophic couldn't happen, and everybody should be prepared in things like that. I don't know, just knowing how to do some basic things like that. I think that would be more important, basic life skills. And then just less emphasis on testing, because that freaks our kids out. I don't know about your kids, but like when it's like I have these tests and this test and that test, and then there's like these big tests,
cram it all in,
and they're like, you got to pass this test or get a certain level on it to go to the next grade, so everything's like weighing on it, when everything's I'm pretty sure a lot of the standardized tests are they're going to affect the teachers more than they are the students, and because they affect the teachers, then they have to push their students to really just know how to pass a test versus know things that are going to be useful for them. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of useful information on it, but it just becomes this like, like the teacher, in order to get funding for the school or whatever, needs to get her kids to pass it at this level, when like there are so many different levels within like the kids of what they might know or understand. I don't know. So like I said, I obviously don't have any answers.
Money handling skills would be huge.
Yeah.
Understanding credit would be huge. Understanding taxes would be huge.
Yeah. And I don't realize that those are like, they seem like they're very adult things, but when we graduate high school,
we're supposed to know them.
You're supposed to know them, but they were never taught to you. So it's like you have to teach them to kids that if you expect them to be 18 and be an adult, they're not just gonna automatically understand. Yeah, exactly. And then so I think we've just completely revamped the school system when we're amazing.
I think so.
Did you hear that?
I expect it to be put into. I did not hear it.
I elbowed the wall. Implement
that. I did that earlier. It's elbow the wall day. We both fulfilled our quota there.
Excellent. We're weird. I like us though.
We are weird.
We are.
I think that's what makes us awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody needs a little bit of weird. I appreciate weird people so much more now than I did when I was growing up.
Yes. And like weird is like my I feel like it's like me. I feel like I'm pretty weird. So
I'm a huge dork.
When I see weird in other people, I definitely am drawn to it, because I'm like, oh, you find this, this weird thing entertaining like I do. Like putting yourself out there and looking stupid. Like some people are just like, they find it annoying almost, because it's like, I don't know, they don't understand it for themselves. So when I see somebody else that's doing it, I'm like, you get me. I'm drawn to
and
weird.
When I constantly embarrass myself, I'm embarrassed for a while, and then I'm like, no, wait, that fits. I'm good. Like, all's right with the world.
Yeah.
All is right with the world. I don't know why I do things. I just do.
Me neither. Referring to you, of course. I don't know why you do what you do.
It's true. You would know better than pretty much anybody.
Okay, I'm gonna do something right now and you're gonna help me. And I know we've done like the
Okay.
entire video, but there are different like
That's
types
okay.
of lights on this. And I'm looking at you and you look all like bright and I look orange.
And I like your yellow because it's like a beautiful face color. Like it's, I don't know.
We're gonna try. There's other, watch my face.
Okay. Yeah, I saw. That was good.
Oh, they're all kind of orangey yellow.
Similar.
Whoa. Holy,
that's okay. It makes you look tan. You know what it is? It's probably the exact same color. It's just that I'm so freaking pasty.
No.
It glows.
That one's too bright. That's like unacceptable.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna have to squint. I don't know. Whatever. There is no changing it. Do you have natural light on you?
I have 2 lamps pointed at my face. Awesome. That's all. They're just Walmart cheap lamps.
It's perfect.
And one of them has a little piece of paper in the center because it was making my eyes like
you're getting the little like light burn in them where you close it and you'll see it.
When I went to go get the other lamp, I'm like, I can't see. So I fixed it.
It's perfect.
They have this show called Canada's Worst Handyman.
Okay.
I like randomly stumbled upon. And it's these people that like just use hot glue and jimmy rigging everything. And I'm like, if I lived in Canada, I would so be that person. Like that's me.
Where did you find this? What's it on? Netflix, Hulu?
It was on Netflix a million years ago. They also have Canada's Worst Driver. I like both of these shows. They are amazing. Go look on YouTube because this is my plug for the Canadian government here because they are phenomenal. I love them and it would totally be on this show if America did the same thing.
America's Worst. We could just make it.
America's Worst Handyman.
Yeah.
And they actually have them build like
you and I.
It's no competition. It was hands down. It was just me.
That's funny.
Yes. We should do that show. Why can't America have the worst driver and handyman?
I don't know.
See, I would like to do the driver one because they take like the 10 people that have been nominated as the worst driver and they take them through like these driving courses and they teach them how to drive and like have them have little competitions so they can get their license back.
Yeah. I'd like to do it, and just because I think I'm a good driver, so probably to be like humbled a little bit, I'd like to do it.
Yeah. Well, they do stuff that's pretty tricky. Like Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm competitive. I'd be like, backing up.
I got this. Yeah.
Do it backwards. Okay.
Okay, I will. They have them like
I'd smash
back up
something.
this massive bus backwards through an obstacle course. I'm like,
that does sound fun.
Yeah, or they have like a car. I'm rambling about stupid things, but they have like this car with a sunroof, and it's got this huge bin of water on the top. And so if you like brake too hard, it gets you every time. And so you have to drive really carefully. I'm like, I think we should do this for all teenagers here.
Yes.
Where you get your license, you have to do all these things.
Yeah. We had the best driving range thing at Payson High School.
We did.
Like, I've not seen anybody else. Like we had they had this park.
Footloose. They're dancing on it. That's our driver. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. But they rebuilt the stadium though, right? So it's not technically, right?
Well, I think if I remember right, the markings and everything were still, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But
I don't know. I think so.
Hey, the paint on that looks a lot fresher than when we were in high school.
Yeah, but Footloose was filmed where we went to high school. So
yes. And Kevin Bacon loved it.
Throwing that out there. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So it was behind the stadium though. There was a parking lot and it had all these, lines, and it was a whole driving course. And our driving instructor was up in the like in the tower on top of the football thing on the backside. Yeah. And he could look out and talk through all of our radios because we were all in numbered cars. And I'm like, that was, I don't know, this seems pretty freaking awesome. Like everybody should get to do that.
I expected that to be here too. And I'm like, where's your course?
I know, where's your guys' driving course? You don't have a driving course? Like
we had a driving course.
Yeah. And it was not any special high school. We were like the high school for the 10 surrounding little towns. It was like
it was a rural high school for sure.
Yeah. With a bomb shelter in the bottom that had been turned into a
gym.
track and like indoor sport facility. Which is kind of
Yeah,
cool
it was
now that I
quite
think about it.
dungeon-like.
Yeah. But also it was pretty awesome.
Also pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would do that again.
What? Go there?
Go there and have weight training downstairs in the dungeon with the chain link fence around it.
Yeah. What's going on, computer? What are you doing? I hope this isn't recording. Like, okay, whatever. If it is.
It's all good. I don't see anything.
Yeah, so if you don't see anything, it's probably good. I probably should just shut up and then like quietly turn it off, but instead I always make like oh God, here we go again.
Crap. Yeah, my alarm just went off a second ago, so if we got that in there, I apologize.
I did not. What's your alarm for?
Telling me that my daughter's friend is coming over to play in a few minutes so that I'm not in my pajamas.
Okay. Well, so we could probably wrap it up anyways. We've probably done, it's probably been an hour-ish. So, and we didn't come up with any solutions, but we did complain a little about school.
We complained about homework and the fact that homework is hard sometimes. And if you listeners are dealing with homework and small
Lisa.
children, both of you, no. Yeah, if my mom's listening, thanks for helping me with my homework, Mom. I remember 2 o'clock in the morning when you were helping me and I was not very nice to you, and I apologize for that.
It's nice to get that off your chest.
It is. Last time it was like The Sims, and now it's like I was a horrible child. That's all.
No.
You really don't appreciate your parents till you're a parent, though, and then you're like, oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
My mom was always willing to help with homework, and
yeah. Well, my mom was like she would just go to be a teacher, and then like because she had all of us children and just they weren't able to graduate, so she went back to college after she had all 10 kids and graduated. So I was there while she was doing her student teaching and all these things. So and she created so many awesome like learning things. I remember she had this it was a never ending story. It was a book that was like laminated, but it was one big like ring and it just kept folding and it kept going. And it was from like, it was really neat. She had all kinds of cool, like
awesome
learning things and like tips and tricks that she was learning at that time. So I'm sure that helped me with my schooling when I was younger. Because I feel like in high school, and she may remember differently, but I don't think I ever really needed help with anything. I did most of my work. Like I would go from one class to the next class. Before that class even started, I did the homework for the last, because I normally left school to either go to work or go to soccer practice or, so I don't remember actually ever even doing homework, but I was assigned homework. I just did it right then and there. Like as soon as they said, I was just like, do it. That was my way.
I would do mine on the bus on the way to soccer and basketball and wrestling, because we went to all of them.
I don't know. I felt like everybody else always had more homework than me, and I was like, I know they didn't, because I was in the same classes, but I just did it like when I was probably supposed to be listening to the next class. I was like, just doing the homework from the last.
The only one I can remember having massive amounts of homework for was AP English. And that one was super frustrating. And I'm going to vent just for a second because so I had 2 older brothers, and there was the loved brother and the hated brother by all of the teachers, right?
Can I make a guess? Okay, but I know Mike was loved and BJ was hated.
Yeah, BJ just had a lot more personality. Like
BJ's just spunkier. He's probably a little louder, but always nice.
He is.
Both and your brothers are very just seem like chill guys.
Yeah, and I think he was kind of like obnoxiously smart, where he didn't seem to apply himself, but you know what I mean? And so anyway, I come along and I'm just kind of like, hey, I'm here. And my AP English teacher just had BJ. And so I would read the books, I would write my essays, and I'm used to getting all A's, and she'd send them back with C's. No, she failed several of them. And I didn't understand. I'm like, I did the work and I thought I did it well.
Yeah.
And
like,
so
where's this coming from?
She sent them all back, and I'm like, okay, I can redo all of them. I redid every essay, and there were so many of them.
Holy cow.
So I redid all of them and got like a C average, which was still not acceptable. And I cried to my mom and I'm like, Mom, I can't do this again. So she went and talked to my teacher, and my teacher's like, okay, you can do them all one more time. And I'm like, I don't want to do them all one more time. So I erased the date and just changed the date on all of my essays. That's it. And I got A's on all of them.
Jerk. I think you've told me about this before, but seriously, yeah, it's so freaking annoying. That's just like a power trip or something weird.
I don't know, but I scored higher than both brothers on my AP English test that was not graded by her. So
I didn't take AP English.
So. And you know what? The difference between us is nothing.
Yeah.
It was not worth it. I should have just stayed home.
Yeah. Having that level of stress at that, like, I know everybody's like, just get it done. Just graduate with your associate's degree. I'm like, to what? To rush into working your life? Like, take some time to freaking live. Like, you only have so much time to, especially if you do intend to get married and have children, and that's on your plan of something you want to do. Take some time for yourself in between, though, because there's going to be times during that, because once you sign on to like parenting, it is like a nonstop, constant, like, and eventually maybe, you're going to travel again, but with a different body, with a different, like, just so many things that I shouldn't have said. Like, there are so many things and I only said the word body. So now I feel like I need to put something else there. So it's not just like, enjoy your young body.
Different mindset, different responsibilities.
Yes, that's the huge thing. Responsibilities, overhead, owning a home, stuff like that. If what they want is to just go in and do the grind and that's all they want out of life, I guess that's fine. But go into it knowing that that's what you're doing. And I don't know, I think we should like teach kids to like take time to themselves before and figure out what they want to do versus just like
hard though.
Figure out what you need to do and start doing it, because that's the way society works here, at least. But that's only because that's the way we've set up society to work. And if we started doing it differently, then society would shift. I
would hope so, because right now my daughter's getting as many college credits as she can because she's like, they're so expensive. Like, she's anyway, so she's like, I'm saving myself money now, and so I can stress less later. But I think that's good, and especially if you have it in you to do it in that way, you know what I mean? Not everybody's on the level that she's on, and that's okay. And like, other people shouldn't feel stupid for not being able to do that. That's just absolutely not. Like, and I don't even know if she should feel that pressure to do that.
I mean, because when we, like you said, and then where are we different on, like, in the grand scheme of things now, because you took AP courses and I didn't. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you took AP and I didn't. And then you didn't end up even going for a college degree because of where your life took you, and I did.
The difference is I read stupid books about, some of them are really good, but some of them are really dumb about like people that turn into cockroaches and just for reals. Metamorphosis, not my favorite book ever. Just gonna throw that out there.
People that turned into cockroaches.
Like for reals.
For reals.
His name is Shoebag.
Okay. Shoebag the cockroach.
Shoebag the cockroach, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I only wrote that essay 3 times.
I was gonna say, or at least change the date. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, so yeah, nothing we can really do about it as far as homework's concerned. But I feel like if we were, I don't know, I feel like we're all people, and like, say if I were to go to Haley's teacher and say like, hey, this is like, I don't know, this is such a hindrance for us. Is there something different we can do? Like, I'm sure they'd find some way to work with us. But that's for my kid who has someone who's going to advocate for her. And not everybody has that. So that can't be the way we deal with it.
Oh, they don't.
Because everybody doesn't have an advocate, So.
And some people don't even know it's an option.
Yeah, and wouldn't even dare, And it's also, it comes across as a very entitled thing to be like, why is your kid not? And it's like, I'm just telling you what she's not going to turn in, and that I'm okay with a C. She's not going to be punished at my house type thing. Like when it turns into a thing of her crying and like, and I'm not
mental health is worth more than the grade.
And I'm not saying that that's all the time. Most of the time she does great. There have been times. So there was one test. It was one of the standardized tests. She just spent the entire time on one question And because they said you can't ask questions, you know what I mean? And it was a really silly question. Like she needed like
wording was
exactly, and she just needed to be asked something about the wording, and she couldn't move on. She had to another time go, like they had, because it was in 2 sessions. So then she had to do as much as she could in the second session. She still like almost finished the whole thing. Some kids that literally worked both days still didn't even finish with her.
finish the whole thing.
You know what I mean? But she did all of it in one day essentially. But because of that first day, she just couldn't do it. And then another time, she full on fell asleep. The teacher was like, she fell asleep in a test today. I was like, oh.
My daughter did that too.
like,
It's like a super important test.
I know, but and it's like, what do I can't just yell at her. Like, she's done nothing wrong. She just, you know, because she'll try, and she was just like crying, and you know, I'm like, I just can't freaking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not gonna do this for the grade.
And she does okay on homework though. I don't want to make it sound like she can, she does well. She does better, like
she's a smart
recently,
kid.
With her homework, but it still is a battle.
I think a lot of parents felt that battle and that stress.
Yeah. And the
kids feel like you're torturing your kid.
Yeah, so then the kids who don't have someone torturing them to get it done, they literally just don't, and then they fail out of the system, and they're told they're dumb. And really, it's because sometimes it is so hard to do it on your own. And I don't think we can be expecting them to do it on their own. And since we can't ensure like consistently in their home life, then how can we send something home to them that we're going to say, you will have to do this? Some of you get help, some of you don't. It's on, you know.
Yeah. And some of you are dealing with other life things, and we're still going to give you the same homework that we give to everybody else. And
I don't put this on the teachers at all. I don't expect them to, because I know they're just trying to teach their class to the best of their ability. It's just like everything. It's a system as a whole that's been developed, and the way that we do things that like that meme I was talking about, where there's the airplane from like, you know, when they started to now, and how all these things have advanced, and the way they do things is advanced. Why can't we study education? Why can't we study the way that we educate our kids and
we really
broaden it? And you know what I mean? Instead of just trying to fix the same little system we're using, be like, maybe there should be different types of schooling for kids, you know, a lot more involvement with doing things versus sitting there writing on paper the things that someone's telling you.
Regurgitating information.
Yeah. But and now I'm like, I guess that's why people stop and homeschool their kids, because they want them to, but I know for me, like, I don't feel like I would be the best teacher for my kids, if I'm being honest, because I don't lose my patience and stuff like that. So I feel like I'd be doing them a disservice. Like, sure, I could take you to do activities, but there's so much that you learn. So basically, I'm just saying that, like, I have no idea what to do. I can only find problems.
You're doing something right, because your kids are awesome.
Yeah, I think
they are learning, and they're doing good things.
Yeah, and I probably like made it more dramatic than it needed to be. I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to be like tugging on Haley or whatever.
No.
I think she does so well. I hate to see it like be a burden for her, you know?
You'd like there to be a system that worked for her.
Well. Yeah, that never meant that we had to spend our nights like just hounding her.
Each other over,
and I try so freaking hard to be just like give her breaks, do these things, but then I'm also managing her, and I'm like, dude, I don't have time to manage your life. I need you, and I know you're only 11, but I also, you know, I need you to take care of your 11-year-old things. Why I take care of all these other things.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. And if you have multiple children doing the same thing, it gets really difficult.
Yeah. Oh my God. If Bella was at the same time, like
doing the same thing.
Yeah. I like I said, my head would just fly off my neck.
That's when Shastacola comes in.
Shastacola. She ain't having none of that.
She's just not having it.
No.
So, well, right. I think I've got somebody.
An extra kid there. Yeah.
I have got somebody coming. So
All right.
We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for chatting. Lilas.
Lilas, it's always good to talk to you. You're
Yes.
amazing.
All right. You too.
Keep being
See you next
amazing.
week. Yay. And I'm excited to talk to your mommy.
Yes, that will be awesome. Is that next week or I forget?
Well, Saturday. Instead of
Saturday.
Friday, we're doing Saturday. Yeah.
That's right. I don't know what day of the week it is, so.
That's okay.
Awesome. That will be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love you. We'll talk to
Okay.
you later.
Lilas.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.